So guys, if we get back into 34, I said I even have my little songs on my little play box on so I can get the names, how they've been said. But I just noticed it, and I just want to do this real quick, like, before we even get into this. Let's go to some of these names. Here's one. You see one, look at verse 4.
What chapter?
Numbers
34.
Number 34. Look at verse 4. You see how it says? Here's where our problem is. AK is act. See? And then R-A-B, rub bill. Act, rub bill. Act, rub bill. See, I'm 34. Look at, 34 verse 4. See, act, rub. See where it says act, rub bill. Act, rub bill.
I'm at 34.
Okay, you got it? We gotta say it out loud, Vivian. You crossed out your
They didn't touch it.
Accurate.
Oh,
Jim.
act, rub bill. Right.
Accurate.
Okay, and look at the stand 4. See 4, you see what? 4, you see cut dash, K-A.
She pulls them up, but he might
See
change.
it?
Candice Barnea.
It's
Oh,
Candice Barnea.
You gotta get it.
Yeah, you got to get it.
Come on, Jet. Come on.
And then you would space it.
Give this to-
N-E-A, Barnea. Barnea, see it?
Candice Barnea.
You see it?
Teresa? Teresa.
You see it in 4?
Give that to Teresa. Come on.
Yeah, it says Candice Barnea.
I see just go A-K, act, R-A-B, bim. And then you see also Kadash. So K-A, and then dash. And then born. And is it born in E or is it bar? Bar. B-A-R. Barnea. Oh, shit, yes, it's Barnea. So then you got, look at your next one. You got A-Zar, H-A-A, Zar, Adar, A-D, Adar. So you need to see it, Adar. Where's another one? Let's go.
A-Z-M-O-N.
You see 8 got Z dad. See it in 8? Oh, you got Hamma and then you got Z dad. See it? Z dad. You see it in 8. 8. Z dot. Then you got, here's one. 9 is Zipron. Zipron. Z-I-P-H-R-O-N. Zipron. It's Z-I. It's zip. Yeah, it's zip. Z-I. And then P-H-R-O-N. From. So that's Zipron. And then you got, well, you got Hazar. And then you got Enoch, right? So then you got. No. S-H-E. She-from. See, so that's why I said we're not taking it apart. That's why we're having problems. R-I-B, L-A-D, R-I-B.
L-A-H.
L-A-H. Then you got, see this one, C-H-I-N-N-E-R-E-T-H. We got Canara.
You say
It's K, Canara. Canara. And do we have any more?
That's number 11 at the end.
11.
Canera. And then of course we have Ruben and
Yeah, and then I think remember Chisholm at 21. See Chisholm, the last son of Chisholm.
21.
See, I'm sorry,
What about Eladad?
Chisholm. It's the C becomes sound. It's K. It's Chisholm. See it at 21.
Oh.
Y'all can get Eli, Dad, right?
Eladad, right?
So then you got, and then you see this, right?
Yeah, Kisla.
You see,
I see Kisla.
Vic, Islam, and 21. Islam, the last part, Islam. Here's one, B-U-K-K-I. Buckeye. That's it. Buckeye. Not book, it's Buckeye.
And Joggly.
Where you see
If not, he have copies.
Jogla. So you see that, I missed that one. And then go down there more.
M-A-N.
See, huh?
What, and which one?
We've got Shiftland, right? At 24, Shiftland. C-H-I-P. Shiftland.
Shipton.
So you got that one. Then go to, here's one. We got Zebulon, but here's one. C-E-L-I-Z-A-P-H-A-N.
Elizabeth.
You got it. Elizabeth. That's what it is. Put it like you would do your L-A-S-A-R. S-A-P and H-A-N.
It's not Ellie, because I is short.
L-I, no. It ain't no short. It ain't no short. You get short.
Then Hardknock, P-A-R-N-A-C.
Where you at?
At the end of.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Hardknock.
And then you got Pathiel, C-P-A-L.
Yeah.
See that one? Because all I got is a car. Then you see A-Z-N, right?
A-Z-N.
I think that's it.
What's it, 27? A-H-I.
Here's a good one. I know you are going to miss this one. Let's see if I can go there.
You can't bring it up.
Yeah. Okay, so what we're going to do is go ahead and start reading it. And then I'm going to do what Renee said. I'll just turn it on the speaker that you hear. And you see how do we terms and words or what did we do. So it says, "In the Lord spake to Moses, saying, command the children of Israel, and say to them, when you come into the land of Canaan, this is the land that shall fall to you as an inheritance, the land of Canaan, to its boundaries." To its boundaries. I'm at 2:42. And if you have a pen, pencil, marker, this is what I want you to see. What's going on is, remember, what are the three tribes that did not cross over? Did not choose to come over. They wanted to stay on the other side of the Jordan.
Reuben, Dan, and half of Manasseh.
Gad.
Part of Manasseh.
You got Gad.
Yeah.
I don't know where Dan came in. You got
I
Gad.
mean Gad.
And you got who?
Part of Manasseh.
And half of Manasseh, half tribe of Manasseh. They didn't come in. They didn't come over. So I said this to say this. Look at this again. 2 says, command the children of Israel and say to them, when you come into the land of Canaan, this is the land that shall fall to you as an inheritance. The land of Canaan, right? Right? Everybody see that? The land of Canaan?
Yeah.
This is what you need to mark. To its boundaries.
Right.
This is important. To its boundaries. And why is it so important? Because who's making the boundaries? You hear me? Because God is going to make the boundaries. That is so important that God is going to make the boundaries. So I wanted you to see this because we have a tendency by looking at this and just reading it, or just reading it where he just divided, giving land to everybody. But it's more to it than that. Because God is setting the boundaries. Remember this. Those 3 tribes are on the other side, right? They have boundaries. You hear what I'm saying? They actually have boundaries. Those 3 tribes that stayed over. They looked and saw the land. Oh man, yeah, this is great. Oh man, this is good. You know, this is what I want. This is what I want. So what they saw was a lot of land. And so they have to set
Jim, I can take you to the
boundaries
nursery if you get
for
to
Gad, Reuben, and half-tribe of Manasseh. So those have to be set. They have to set
He gets too
boundaries
If he
in,
gets
or
too
divide that up. They'll try that. They'll have to divide that up. Now I'm letting you read. He said they're going to go into the land of Canaan. And it's boundaries. Somebody's going to set the boundaries. God is setting the boundaries. Manasseh, Gad, and Reuben, shame on you. Shame on you. Because God is going to set some boundaries. And when you see what I'm talking about, boundaries, when you see the size of what God is going to give them, oh my God, did you fall short? So then watch this. Then he says in 3, somebody can read 3. 3 says what?
Then your south border shall be from wilderness of Zin, along by the coast of Edom, and your south border shall be the outmost coast of the Salt Sea eastward.
Okay.
She's reading from, it says, well, mine says, your southern border shall be from the wilderness of Zin along the border of Edom. Then your southern border shall extend eastward to the end of the Salt Sea.
I want you to see that because yours is, you don't know your Bible because it's okay. But what I want you to see is this. He's already said, listen to what he said. He said, whether your southern borders,
Your southern border shall be from the wilderness of Zin.
what we need to do is find out then where is sin. That's first of all, right? And I gave you maps, but then I told us about put it on the screen. But on the screen we saw sin. But look what he's saying. He says along the borders of Edom, right?
Along the border of
See,
Edom.
and then your southern borders.
Shall extend.
Then your southern border shall what?
Extend.
Did you see it?
eastward.
Then your southern border shall extend. Keep going. Extend
Eastward
eastward
to the end of the Salt Sea.
to the end of the Salt Sea. So now we're saying from where you are, I guess you'd have to measure the Salt Sea. Did you hear what I'm saying? I guess you have, you see what I'm saying? I guess
wow.
So now you see what I'm saying. That's almost like saying, and your borders will end at the end of the Pacific Ocean.
Right, where's the
But you know what I'm saying? This is what he's trying to say. It's southern. The southern. Now watch this. Your border says what?
Your border shall turn from the southern side of the accent of Akrabim, continue to Zin, and be on the south of Kadesh Barnea. Then it shall go on. Then it shall go on to Hazar Azar, and continue to Asmon.
And there's something. Wait a minute. These.
It's a whole lot of places.
Listen to what he's talking about. We're still south.
Yeah.
Did you hear me? We're still south.
It still says your border shall turn, or it says turn from the southern side of the accent. Wow.
And that's something. So wait a minute. So I said at the beginning, 2 was the key to its boundaries. Who's to give the boundary? God is going to give the boundary.
Let's go.
So if God is giving the boundaries, do we see a boundary yet?
No.
You see what I'm saying? So then watch this. Then let's get 5. 5 says what?
The border shall turn from Asmon to the brook of Egypt, and it shall end at the sea.
Lord have mercy. Now I said that to get you so you can see. Remember those 3. I don't have it. I should have put it on the screen. But remember those 3 already got there. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And you got boundaries. You get as far as you go. That's it. Now who? Because Manasseh got to get there. Huh? Okay, then Manasseh get there, then who? Then Reuben, you got to get yours. So everybody got to get yours. So this is what we got. I'm not saying it's small, but what I'm saying is, yes. So I guess, and I am saying it's small compared to what you want. What you saw was what would, I need to make sure that my cattle is taken care of. That's what you saw. See, that's what those three saw. Oh man, this is good grounds for cattle. This is excellent for cattle. So this is where we want to stay. Look how green the grass is. Man, this is awesome.
Right.
And we can divide this up. Man, we'd be all right. So we'd rather stay here. I told you, this is what we do. We don't see beyond. We only see what we see.
Right.
This is what we see down here. And if you're living nice, do you see it? And if you're living nice, then you say, really, this is your heaven. Yeah, that's where I'm at, Steve. That's where I'm at. I watch this. When I went over to your house, I went around before I finally came to your house.
That's right.
Man, this is nice. That's what we would say. Man, this is nice. How many rooms you got in this place? 32? Whoa! This place is huge. How many bathrooms you got? There's a bathroom for every room. Whoa! That is awesome, man. That place. And then I got a tennis court. And then I got a basketball court. And you know, and I got a pool. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And we say, oh my God, no, I don't know about you all, but what I say is, who gonna clean that? But anyway, but anyway, we say, man, that is awesome, right? And so then what do? You continue to keep investing down here. I need to keep making money. You got more athletes that are doing that now, you know, hey, trying to carry their career over into the 40s. Why are you trying to do that? Because if that paycheck stops,
That lifestyle stuff.
did you hear me? Did you hear me? So I got to keep going on and keep going into it. But here, I want you to see it. But here, he's already told the 9.5 tribes, right? That's what's coming over. He just spoke of the southern border. We ain't went no farther. We just went to the southern border. Teresa, that's enough right there for everybody. The southern borders. You hear me? That's more than enough for everybody. Watch this, because you're going to hear cities. Watch this. Now, if somebody else want to read, look at 6. I don't care if anybody want to read. 6 says what?
As for the western border,
Now we're going to go what?
west,
Go west, young man. So watch this. So watch this when we go west.
you shall have the great sea for a border.
You should have what?
The great sea.
So then, what? And I like this because that's pretty much it. So wait a minute. So you're saying what's going to separate us or start us off is the great sea. What was the sea that he talked to them about on the southern borders? The salt sea. Wait a minute, so we got a salt sea now going with a great sea. That's Mediterranean. So watch this. So look what you got. You need to see it. So now, watch this. Who's reading? Keep reading. So we got the Mediterranean. This is what I'm trying to get you to see. And he said, wait a minute, he says, so that's going to be your line. That's going to be your line for the west. That starts you. Now watch this. He says what?
Great sea for a border, this shall be your western border.
Uh-huh.
And this shall be your northern border. From the great sea, you shall mark out your borderline to Mount Or.
Lord have mercy. Come on.
From Mount Or, you shall mark out your border to the east, to the entrance of Hamath.
Uh-huh.
Then the direction of the border shall be toward Zedad. The border shall proceed to Zephron, and it shall end in Hazar Enan.
Okay.
This shall be your northern border.
So watch this. 10. Now Teresa, catch 10. Watch 10.
And
So we got what?
and,
So we got, wait a minute, so we got what?
and
We got our
and
We got the
east
southern.
we got our southern,
We got the western.
western, northern. Now watch this, keep going.
And ye shall point out your east border from Hazarmon
Well, I have to see where you at.
to Shephah.
Last one, 10.
To Shephah.
No, that's Shephem. S-H-E, I told you, separated. So what did you say? I heard you say something else and you were struggling with it.
Hazar
And now,
to
Shephem.
and to the coast shall go down from Shephem to Riblah on the east side of Aeon. Aeon?
N.
A-N. It's just what it says. A-N. A-N. Go ahead.
And the border shall descend and shall reach unto the side of the sea of Kinnetheth.
Yeah, in that word.
Kinnetheth.
Okay.
And the border shall go down to Jordan, and the goings out of it shall be at the Salt Sea.
Yours says at the salt, ours says at the end of the Salt Sea. So look what we're talking about. Then we just mentioned the end of the Salt Sea in 3.
Yeah.
Right? And 3 you just mentioned it. Now look what he's saying. Here's some connection. Here's some boundaries. Here's some connection. So you got the southern, and now you got the eastern, and these borders are eventually going to connect. Who's drawing the boundaries? He says to the end of the Salt Sea.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't find out where the end of the Salt Sea is. But you see what I'm saying? How big this is. This is so important that we see this. So I'm laying this out. Guess who can hear what I'm laying out? You got it, Reuben, Gad, and half tribe of Manasseh. So they're hearing now God saying to Moses, this is what I want to tell you. This is how you're going to do your southern. This is how you're going to do your northern. This is how you're going to do your western. This is how you're going to do your eastern. And you're sitting there and saying,
Wow.
and I got about 5 acres.
And I thought I was.
You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? I ain't got nothing compared to women. And then he's going to, watch it, so we know he's going to divide all this up. We can't fathom this. But this is how much land they're going to get. And watch, we're going to go farther into it. I want you to see something else. We don't even, might not even need the paper. So watch this. He says what? Where we at?
13.
13. Anybody want to read from 13?
And Moses.
13. Anybody want to do it? 13? Are y'all scared of some of these names?
Moses commanded the Israelites, assign this land by lot as an inheritance. The Lord has ordered that it be given to the 9½ tribes, because the families of the tribe of Reuben, the tribe of Gad, and the half tribe of Manasseh have received their inheritance. He said, right there. They got theirs.
Watch this. Now, flip your page over. So then,
One that says,
now you got the 9, right? But you got to read 14. No, but you got to read Bible first. Verse 14.
14 says, these 2½, these two, wait a minute.
For the tribes of the children.
Oh, yeah.
Reuben,
Because the families of these tribes of Reuben, the tribe of Gad, and the half tribe of Manasseh have received their inheritance. These 2½ tribes have received their inheritance on the east side of the Jordan of Jericho, towards the sunrise.
Okay, so you dropped a lot of stuff. But
Where
anyway.
did I drop?
So what Bible are you reading from?
I'm reading from the New International. Oh, you I got it from
That's the
this.
Quran.
That's what?
He said it's a
I'm reading from the Quran. Lord have mercy.
You know what?
Now we know what it is. Okay. That's why they drop. That's why they don't believe in Jesus either. Because they drop themselves.
Yeah, it was from, it says 13.
No, it was 14.
It
Yeah.
says,
Yeah, yours is
For the
different.
tribes of the children of Reuben according to the house of their fathers. That's what you wanted to hear?
Yeah, go ahead.
Tiffany, you have it the same
For
way?
the tribe of the sons of Reuben have received theirs according to their fathers' households, and the tribe of the sons of Gad according to their fathers' households, and the half tribe of Manasseh have received their possession.
Keep going.
The two and a half tribes have received their possession across the Jordan opposite Jericho, eastward toward the sun rising.
Now, your verse 1 said what? Verse 1 said what?
And the Lord said to Moses,
saying,
Okay, you got it?
command the sons of Israel and
No,
say
we
to
ain't
them-
got to go no farther than that.
Okay.
Verse 13 said what?
So Moses commanded the sons of Israel, saying, this is the land that you are to apportion by lot among you as a possession, which the Lord has commanded to give to the 9.5 tribes.
So, I'm told now what the 9.5 tribes are going to get.
Where did half come in?
Because it was half of it.
Half of Manasseh. One half stayed on the
Oh,
other
is that
side,
okay?
and another half stayed there.
Oh, okay.
So we got a problem in the house, cause then I heard you, Tiffany, make fun of them, right? And 14, you start making fun of folks. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Look at 14, Tiffany. You ought to be ashamed. Hold up, Lord have mercy. So at 14 says what, Tiffany?
Well, the tribe of the sons of Reuben have received theirs according to their fathers.
Oh, no, let me help you, because see, you don't understand. Reuben, Gad, half tribe Manasseh. See, y'all didn't receive
Yeah.
yours.
Yeah.
Huh? That little patch that you was so high on that you said, no, we don't believe that. Because you couldn't vision, you have no vision, you couldn't see any farther. I used the mansion. You couldn't see any farther. You said your heaven is here. Well, they said my heaven is there on that east side of Jordan. So I want to stay there. Now, God had Moses announce your northern, your southern, your east, and your west. He says, let me go ahead and tell you the land that you will be getting. It's going from sea to sea. But you know what I'm saying?
But you know what?
See, you're going to a little bit portion, but we're going from sea. I said, look, that's like I'm gonna give you all of the Pacific to the Atlantic.
Yeah, right.
Now, does that make sense?
Yeah, that's enormous.
You see what I'm saying? How fast if we can find from the and did you know?
I'm going to give you all the waters.
And that's it. Watch
That's
it.
what it really did.
And did you know? Look at this. And did you know? Even today, that the Atlantic versus the Pacific. Did you know there's a boundary? Did you know the water's different?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's actually a boundary.
Yeah.
One water is cold, one water is hot, and it will not cross over, and it will not cross
It
over.
don't mix.
Will not mix.
Yeah.
You explain that.
That's amazing.
That's
That is amazing.
But you see what I'm saying? But when you don't, this is where I'm at with us. Our vision, what we want to see. Even when it comes down to the worship or to the work for God, we only see what's in front of us instead of going, God has got something much greater for us, but you won't do the work here. I want to give you something much more awesome than that. Renee, you forgot her. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Lord. Speaking of late.
Don't put your head down now. Come on in and take it.
You know something? It's like this. Satan is very deceptive. He comes beautiful, like you said, as an angel of light.
Come on.
They got their eyes off of God, and they got their eyes on the land over there.
Come on.
So, you know, you got their eyes on
Come on, Renee. Get the rest of the folks. Y'all jacket.
Is it out?
Lord, you come back and talk to him next week. Let me leave young talk.
Amen.
Thank you, sir.
So Renee's giving you some of it,
Yes.
so you can see it.
This is good.
Oh, Lord. So look what you got. And then remember, Calvert, you read the Great Sea?
Yep.
And Steve said it's the Mediterranean. And I said, you're right, that's exactly what it is. Can you imagine? And she's given us so we can start to see. Now, if you can see how this land itself looks, by looking at the map, it don't look like they get too much. When you start to measure these out, it is huge. I wish we could have found out what Gad, Reuben, and half tribe of Manasseh got. I wish we could see something about them.
Well,
I
what
bet it
is
don't come
this?
nowhere near.
Where's this Gad, Reuben, and this half part of?
Where you see it?
Isn't that
Right
what
here.
they're, that's
It
their
says right
land?
there, Gad, Reuben, and Manasseh. Right here, you were looking at it, go down. The
Gad.
and Reuben, at the bottom, in the yellow.
Reuben.
Okay, but that's theirs.
Okay.
But then everything else, because you gotta see, if the Great Sea is here, that means the,
That means it keeps going.
we don't have enough paper. See, because this is
I
Manasseh,
see
this
it.
is the other one.
That's the other
Ephraim,
one. I see
all
it.
of them.
Can you imagine? Look what you walked away from. Look what you could have had. But you decided you wanted to have some boundaries when God is saying, I will draw the boundaries and I will draw them according to light. I will give them according to light. So then watch this. So then now we're going to go here. Now we're going to go here.
Which one? Where's this
The
first?
promised land. Now we're going to go here.
Further discussion.
See the promised land?
Further discussion?
No, the regular.
The promised land was the glorious gift?
Did
Okay.
you find it yet?
Yeah,
No, nobody has it.
Everybody?
it's on the second page.
Third.
I see it, the promised
It's
land.
on the third page,
Right there.
right? You talking about on the third page,
Okay, so watch this.
second paragraph.
The promised land
Uh,
was the glorious gift of God to his people. Years before, God had made his great covenant with Abraham, the covenant of the promised land. If Abraham would follow God with all his heart, he would receive the great gifts of God, the gift of the promised land, and the gift of the promised land seed.
Not promised land seed, just the promised seed.
Oh, promised seed.
That was promised land seed.
Sorry.
Promised land seed.
okay.
The Savior and Messiah
Lordy,
of the world. Okay. In parentheses. The present passage concerns the great gift of the promised land. First, some of the boundary cities cannot be accurately located because they do not presently exist. However, enough is known about the location of most of the boundary markers to give a fairly accurate map of the promised land. I almost said sea. Okay, 2. Second, Israel never did claim all of the promised land outlined in this
Did you
passage.
hear what I said? Did you hear what I said? So watch this, go watch this, I want you to see something else. King David, come on.
King David did control most of Canaan and most of Transjordan. However, even he failed to conquer and lay claim to the outreaches of the promised
Can you
land.
imagine? You see what God has given them?
So much of it.
But hold on. But there's boundaries.
Right.
Did you hear me? But hold on. Because he's still going to give you, there's still boundaries. And they haven't found the boundaries yet. The boundaries still want to conquer. Even in King David's time, the boundaries, what God had given them, they still, okay, let's get to that. Wait a minute, you know it go far. No. Can you imagine? Why, well, watch this, right? You got your little patch, Manasseh. You got your little patch, Gad. You got your little patch, Reuben. You got your little patch. You got your patch of land. But theirs continue and continue. Yet there's a boundary. Yet there's a boundary. We just can't find it. Keep going.
Third, number 3, God himself is the one who
That's what I'm
outlines
saying.
the boundaries of the
I'm
promised
trying to
land.
tell you. Come on.
The very existence and idea of the promised land was created in God's mind, not man's.
You do
The
need to say
location, fertility, richness, fruitfulness, environment, quality of life, and everything else about the promised land was conceived in the mind of God, created and controlled by the hand of God. It was God who gave the hope of the promised land to his dear people, the hope of a land that would bring fullness of life, peace, and rest to their bodies and souls.
I want you to see this because he's going to let them go into the promised land. I just told you there's 3 other tribes that are out there, right? Right? Yes.
No, I'm gonna wait till you finish. I'm gonna ask you a question.
So with those 3 other tribes out there, God is not only going to give them land, but he's going to eventually give them peace. When we get over in Joshua, you're going to find out Manasseh, Reuben, and Gad are fighting to keep something. Huh? Fighting to keep something. But when God gives you something,
Amen.
It's yours.
done. Yes.
Yeah. My first question is, where is Samaria in all this? The capital of the northern kingdom. I'm just curious.
Well, she'd have to go pull it. You have to pull it because it's not on here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's fine. Go ahead.
All right. The second question is kind of what you're alluding to. I remember reading. I forget if it was in Joshua or if it was in Deuteronomy, but it talked about how because of the disobedience,
Yes.
God didn't fully drive
Yes.
out,
It's
the enemies. Yeah.
going to take place
To test them.
because you didn't do something. That's right.
So are you saying that that's taking place right along?
All on the borders. Isn't that something?
Oh my gosh.
Along those borders. Wait a minute, but what about the other borders? You know them all? What about them other borders? No. Those borders.
Wow.
You wanted it? That's what your eyes. You ever been so hungry, boy, you just blowed it up? And then when you eat, you can eat but a little bit?
Eyes bigger than your stomach.
You got it. Eyes bigger than them. That's what they did. They saw something that looked awesome to them. Oh, we got to have
We
it.
should get whoopings for that.
That did not even, I'm still trying to make this register in my little finite mind, my little puny mind. I'm trying to get this. God promised you a promised land, but you rather stop here. I'm still trying to figure that one out. How do you stop? I would have said, man, you got to be out your mind. If this is beautiful, can you imagine what the promised land has got to look like? If this looks good, and this is our point too. If this looks good, Lord have mercy, this is what's happening with the world. It looks good.
This place is just.
It's contaminated for those that are in Christ Jesus. It's anytime something's contaminated, how can it look good?
This is a junkyard compared to heaven.
You better know it is.
Yeah, I was just
So
gonna
now she
say,
just called, wait a minute, hold on, she just called my place a junkyard. Now wait. Now we got it. Now she didn't cross over. See, Clara, you did it Sunday. Now she done stepped over. She done messed up.
Go ahead, no.
I was gonna say, when we stop holding on to God's promises, this stuff starts to look a little different now.
That's it.
It works.
Come on, Calvin.
When we stop holding on to God's promises, it starts to look good now. But see, that's that distorted thinking that is brought on by Satan and his deception.
That's what I think Steve was talking about. But this is what I'm talking about. You remember, all of this is conditional. Well, don't ever get past that. But isn't it the same way here in that place conditional?
To how we are.
It's what we want it. You heard me talk about Haggai Sunday. Do you really want it? What is your priority? Is your priority God? And watch this, you don't have to tell me. All I got to do is watch. You show me. You show me what your priority is. You show me who's more important than God. And it's not for me to challenge you, judge you, tell you. No. You're in that same price and I'm in. So then you should know better now. Look, I am not of this world. I am in this world. That's all I am, is in this world. So don't get excited behind seeing something. Whatever you get in this world is contaminated. Whatever you get, it's guaranteed to rust out.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, now let's keep going.
I love it. God told Abraham to leave.
Come on.
And to go, and he was going to put him in a certain place.
Come on.
But he stopped off in Egypt, right?
Come on. Yes.
Okay, and then that's when Lot went his way.
Come on.
And look what he ran into, Solomon.
A mess.
Yeah.
A mess.
But God,
But what did Lot do? This looks good. Remember what Lot did?
Yeah.
Abraham said, if you go to the right, I go to the left. If you go to the left, I go to the right. Whichever way you want to go, we go. Lot said, well, hold on. Oh, man, that looks good over there. Okay, I'll take that. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? And that's what we're doing. You don't realize it. When God becomes real in our lives, then you can start to see what's content. What am I sinning? What do I need to do? Let me stop sinning. There's no need because Abraham, do you hear me now? Abraham went to paradise. Abraham was promised, remember, the promised land, right? Can you imagine he's in paradise looking down? Okay, that's nice. I said he's in paradise looking down. Yeah, that's nice. But, what'd you say? But where I'm at, it don't come close. But.
why you mad, man?
That's nice.
That's kind of cool.
That is nice. Okay, you see what I'm saying? Because Abraham said, where I'm at, there will never be rust, moth. There'll never be nothing that's going to destroy. This is, you watch this. I need that. No. What I'm going to do, no. Well, maybe I can put, no. Everything is perfect. Stop and think about it. And this is when we get it in our mind. I told you when we get in our minds, God is real. To be with God is to be with someone that's perfect. All he can produce is perfection.
That's right.
He don't need nothing added to it. He called himself doing that with the church. Remember? He says the gates of hell. He did that with the church. But we don't understand it. Well, the church of people, we're not perfect. But God says, but you can be perfect. Yes, you can be. Well, how do I become perfect? When you reach levels of maturity. What is the level of maturity? When you learn to trust in Him fully. Stop leaning on, stop pretending like you love Him, and then something come up, and then you this and you that. When you trust Him, I need you to go out on that ledge. Ain't no ledge. Huh? But I want you to go out on that, but it ain't no ledge. But if you trust me, you go. And find out you on there. Out here on there. Ain't nothing there. I don't know where we were at, Renee. Where was we at where they had a glass bottom in the place? Where was we at? It was a glass, it was in a, Chicago, was it with a tower, somewhere was that where, remember there's a certain section where there's glass and folks, I'm like, ain't nowhere in the world I'm stepping out there. Okay, but you know what I'm saying? But it was strictly nothing but glass.
Wouldn't believe.
No, that's the world. I ain't gonna believe the world. Okay, but you see what I'm saying? This is what I'm talking about, when we learn to do that. So look what he's done, look what he's now basically brought it to those three, y'all came up short. Okay? Y'all came up short. And you finna catch hell because you came up short. Jamal was ahead of time, but he knows what I'm talking about. And you finna come up short. Short, how about shorter? And you finna come up shorter because this is what you did. You got a problem. Something that you don't even realize that you didn't do that I told you to do or else you wouldn't have that problem. I told them when they go into the land here to do what? So who said it?
Everything.
You take everything out of it.
Yeah.
You kill everything in it.
Which to us nowadays sound a little, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's like, wow, just kill them all.
We call it murder. You're just gonna murder people?
But it's the lifestyle.
And then God says it's got to go. Yeah. Watch this. What did Christ do to us? You died. He's got to kill the what? You just said that lifestyle. He's got to kill that lifestyle because you believe your lifestyle is what's wrong with it. So really, what's wrong with what I'm doing? God's shaking his head. You don't see what's wrong with it? Maybe because God isn't in you yet. Because when the Christ comes in you, you'll be able to identify and see this is contaminated. This is told up. I made this statement, I know you should fuss and you go to the dance floor and you get up there dancing. I ain't talking about what you did in what's the name, lives. I'm talking about when you went to that world and you decided to dance. When you went out into that world and felt, well, what's wrong with it? Plenty wrong with it. Why? Because the world does not see you. I'm going to drop this one. Even as watch this, even as a person, all it sees is body. The world. The flesh. That's all it sees is the flesh. Well, I ain't going to do nothing. You don't have to do nothing. Because the world says, oh, you know what? It's just a matter of time. God, Satan throws you out there and says, you really think you sitting in my domains doing what I want you to do? And you think you're stronger than me? You really think you're bigger than me? I just ain't brought the right one to steal your heart yet. But I'm getting to know you. As I get to know you, I'll bring them in there. Eventually, he'll steal your heart because I know your heart ain't right. You can't serve two gods. You hear me? You can't party and then come to worship. You can't do it. But what's wrong with it? Satan says, that's how blind I got you. I want you to stay blind. You're right. There's nothing wrong with it. Keep doing it. That's the world. God's got a promised land for us too. Stop and think about it. A place of perfection. Or you can think this look good. You can think this is all right down here. I don't know about you, but I get tired of trying to. I got an old truck outside in my that I keep. Y'all know I won't get rid of that truck. Renee said she wished I would, but I won't get rid of that old truck.
Big blue.
And it got rust. Did you know rust? You have to cut it out. Did you know you can't put something over it and go away? You have to cut it out, rust. So I got to cut some metal off of my car and then turn around and put some metal back on it to do it right. Go ahead.
Yeah, what's interesting is that, reading Revelations, it talks about the stones that we consider precious that would be very scarce here. Mm-hmm. Therein, it's just as common as I don't know what.
And that's in heaven.
Yeah.
In heaven.
Rubies, emeralds, all just kind of precious stones, gold.
He brought her down here. Gave her, let us peep at it. He says, and even when you look at that, it's beyond that. Can you imagine? I made the statement a million times. How would you like it walking on gold? Not that they go, but if you take a shower, you get in trouble. It start to green out on you. Okay? I'm talking about the real deal. You're walking on the streets of gold. Pearly gates. This is what he tries to show us. Pearly gates. And in those gates, all kinds of beautiful stones. One of us will be trying to steal.
No, not if you up there. You won't be on camera. And nobody will be stealing it. Because Christ is in your pocket. If you get there, you ain't gonna be stealing.
What you got in your pocket?
See, he ain't gonna make it, Cameron. I'm telling you right now, he got the wrong part. See, he's trying to steal already, and he got there. He's trying to take some. He's trying to take some. They ain't even yours yet.
So watch this. Let's get back. So watch this. Get back to your Bible. 16 says what?
This map is really good.
Yeah, 16 says
Yeah, it was really sad.
And the Lord spoke to Moses.
what? Go ahead.
There are the names of men which shall divide the land to you. Was it Eleazar?
Eliezer,
Eleazar the priest and Joshua
the son of Nun.
the son of Nun.
Watch it. Listen to what he said.
And you shall
Well, hold up. Y'all didn't catch it. Read it again.
Okay, these are the names of the men which shall divide the land to you. That's Eleazar, what is it? Eleazar the priest
And Joshua the son of Nun. You didn't catch it. Did you catch it? Stop and think about it. What's going on? Two men are going to divide things. What's going on?
Well, this guy.
Eleazar is the high priest,
Talk about it before you leap.
and Joshua is the mediator.
Before you leap, think about it. Something's going on.
These are the names of the men.
I ain't gonna spend a lot of time, so let me help you. Who's God talking to?
The Lord spoke to Moses.
Isn't Moses a leader?
But he's not going to enter.
You didn't catch it. Moses is a leader. But Moses, you are going to get who? Eleazar? Wait a minute, and Joshua. Joshua's not yet your leader. You're training Joshua.
Right.
You hear me? You see what's going on? To us, look here, Lord. You mentioned Joshua and Eleazar. What about?
I got other plans for you.
What about me?
I got other plans for you.
Yeah, you shall not.
Enter.
He ain't changing his mind. It remains the same. You can look, but you cannot go over. Oh no,
Other people are hearing it.
But
No, it's not.
Is it my face?
That was-
no, it's something else.
No, it's not this.
But you heard? Oh, he got the arrow. But did you hear? But did you hear?
It is you.
Right.
You got Joshua and Eleazar. So now watch this. You got Joshua and Eleazar. So then, now where we at? B 18.
And you shall take one prince of every tribe.
Lord,
Divide the
prince.
land by
Mine
inheritance.
is later.
Yeah, mine says lead it too. He
Mine
got,
says Prince.
now he thinking about Prince Purple Rain. Lord, yeah, my brother got Purple Rain on his mind.
Well,
Renee saw it last night, so I'm glad I let her read. She's been thinking Prince too. Okay? Purple Rain.
but it says, and you should take one prince of every. So it's in every tribe.
How many
Is
is
there somebody?
going?
Is there some?
How many's going over?
9.5.
So you're gonna take how many?
9.5.
9.5 princes.
These are 9.5 leaders. Not just anybody, you just don't select anybody because you like.
You good.
You know, because your friend, because they were
He's
part of
only
the
five.
clique, so they
He's
get
either
to, so
real
they get
short
to
or
lead
probably
us.
little.
You don't select them.
Right.
You're gonna do what he did in Acts the 6th chapter,
He selected.
select from amongst you.
Right.
How many? 7, brother. Lord, what kind of Bible you got?
One was Prince instead of Lee.
A prince with you.
Yeah.
A Prince is higher.
Here says what? Here says chief.
Yours says chief? Yeah. Oh, okay.
That's good. So these men are going to be anointed by
The Holy Spirit.
God, who is going to then work with them. Gosh, you got this is beautiful. They are going to respect these men.
Yeah.
God is going to make sure that they respect these men that are being chosen. But they look like men. They walk like men. They talk like men. But they're God's man. Big difference. God has given this responsibility to them. You're going to do something. So we got the prince. Come on, prince. Lord. Okay, so what?
19. And the names of these men are these. Of the tribe of Judah,
So
Caleb, the son of Jephunneh.
So like we can follow that, aren't we?
Yes, now you got them coming
See
in.
how Judah is, it's on here.
You got Judah, so you got Caleb, the son of Jephunneh, that's coming in, right? So you got what? Now remember how I told you how to break things down. So then you got the tribe of what? 20 says what?
And of the tribes of the children of Simeon.
S-H-E. No, S-H-E.
Shemuel.
Shemuel. That's what I want to do. The son of A-M.
What'd you say?
Amihud.
Amy, she said,
That's it. That's it. So watch this. Then you got from the tribe of Benjamin.
Simeon.
You like that?
No. Benjamin, 21.
Eliab, son of Kislev.
So you got, here we go. So we got, see this, and she said it right too.
Go on to read that.
So you got Kislev, right? Go ahead.
Bukki, son of Jogli, the leader of the tribe of Dan. Aniel, son of Ephod, the leader of the tribe of Manasseh, son of Joseph. Kemuel, son of Shittim, the leader of the tribe of Ephraim, son of Joseph.
wait.
25.
25.
25.
Elizaphan, son of Parnach,
That's
the
it.
leader of the tribe of Zebulun.
Wow.
Paltiel, son of Azar, the leader of the tribe of Issachar. Ahihud, son of Shalom, the leader of the tribe of Asher. Pevatel, son of Amihud, the leader of the tribe of Naphtali.
And then what you got? And these?
These are the men the Lord commanded to assign the inheritance to the Israelites in the land of Canaan.
So then, pull your paper. This appointment. Oh no, the back. The very back.
Page 4.
Interest. The very back interest. Everybody flip to the back interest. Wait a minute, because Irene's in the queue.
Yeah, you can read it.
The back, Irene.
Cameron's gonna read this.
Okay, you can read, but I won't get, at least I won't get Irene on track. Lord, she'll know who she is, Lord. Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead, Cameron.
Entrance into the promised land is conditional.
Did you hear that?
A person.
Hold on, just hold on. Did you hear that? Yeah. So, cause I'm part of something, I'm going.
No.
You know, because see, I come over here, I hear the word of God, so I'm going to heaven.
No.
Did you hear what I'm saying? It's when God becomes real to you. It's an individual thing. When God becomes real to you, then this because it's all conditional. This is if you love me, you will keep my commandments. If. That's conditional. Because a lot of us say, well, yeah, I love him. God says, you don't understand. I know your heart. You lying through your teeth. I know your heart. When you leave here, you do your thing. When you hear, you're not always here. Huh? When you're here, you're not always here. I made the statement, like we have that class on Sunday evening. Don't come into that room not empty. If you can't empty yourself and die, just stay out of the room. Because I'm going to hurt your feelings. That's what I've said in that room. I'm going to hurt your feelings because you're going to say something and I'm going to shoot you down in front of everybody. I'm going to shoot you down because that means you did not empty yourself when you came in that room. When you come in that room, come in there empty, not knowing anything so that you can grow. This is the same way it is with God. God wants us, when we went in that water grave of baptism, to do what? To empty ourselves. Well, I'm going to go in the water, but you know what? I really wish I had did something with this water. Why couldn't I have made it warmer? And you know what? And why you got blue stone down here? Why is, it'd been nice if maybe it'd been white stone. And so, yeah, go ahead, you put me in the water. Really? Really? You said, really?
Why are you putting in the black room?
You get what I'm saying? Right. What does that Steve? Do you have a white one? How about a red one? You got yellow one? Huh? You ain't got no yellow rope? Look, I got one at the house.
Light a candle while you're at it.
All right? Okay, and watch this. Now, why everybody else sit down? Why don't you stand up? You hear what I'm saying? You hear me? All of these are preconceived. These are what your expectations are. God says empty. The only way you enter into that kingdom of heaven is empty. Abraham, I did the last thing I could do to you. I even watched you. I made you lift your hand up. I even let you bring that hand down before I cut it off. But you mean before I watched it, you was finna kill. I said, your son. I want to see how far you go with it. Because you may even stop on the going up. Okay. It's up. You going to do something? No, he says, I want to see you bring it up. I want to see it start heading down. And then I will talk to you. That's what God is doing to us. I send you through trials and tribulations. I test you. Well, I don't know why you treat me like that. It ain't him. It's God that's testing you, and he's using someone to challenge you with. I've asked for patience. Well, how you know you got it until it's tested. I made the statement, when you blare out stuff because how you feel. Don't you know that's in your heart? Because if it wasn't in your heart, you wouldn't do it. Your biomedic well, it's not what goes into the man, it's what comes out. What comes out. And when do it come out? When things ain't right. That's when you blare out stuff. When he's asking us to think. You are supposed to be in Christ Jesus. I made a statement to the class, and I'm going to get back on this. I made a statement to the class. Don't you understand you are brothers and sisters in Christ? I dare you to talk to your brother, your sister like that. That's what Christ was. Wait a minute. You're going to talk to your brother like that? No. Because Christ is your brother. You didn't talk to God like that because he just struck you down. Stop and think about it. You see how serious this is? So it's conditional. So go ahead, Cameron. So let's just...
A person has to believe God and obey him in order to enter the promised land of heaven. If a person is covetous, immoral, wicked, lawless, violent, or ungodly, he cannot inherit the kingdom of God, the promised land of heaven. A person has to believe God, trust his dear Son, if he is to inherit the promised land of heaven.
Keep reading.
This appointment by the Lord before the Jordan tended not only to animate the Israelites' faith in the certainty of the conquest, but to prevent all subsequent dispute and discontent, which might have been dangerous in the presence of the natives. The nominees were 10 princes for the 9½ tribes, one of them being selected from the western section of Manasseh, and all subordinate to the great military and ecclesiastical chiefs, Joshua and Eleazar. The names are mentioned in the exact order in which the tribes obtained possession of the land and according to brotherly connection.
Did you see this?
Your princes come.
That's why I want you to see this. Did you see this? Not only
10 princes. The nominees were 10 princes.
Thank you.
is it.
Don't see this.
I'm glad we're gonna get in this class. She go to, you take your wife on, go, get on.
You wrote it, yeah. She was watching the movie too.
He was watching the movie too.
Amanda.
But anyway, guys, you see what's going on? It was, you see how interesting that is? And by reading it, just being at the house, reading that, you probably say, Lord, we just get past the name and get on. I don't know about you, but I've done it a million times when I was reading this. So often do I reading the Old Testament and boring. One reason why, because I can't say the names. That was one. So, you know what I'm saying? But you see what I'm saying? So the names slow you down. So what I want to do is I want to get past it. Later on in my studies, did I realize everything has a meaning. Everything means something. Yes.
Remember, how can I if I don't help teach?
That's right.
But I understand this.
Yeah. That's it. Well, I like that.
It's necessary to have a sound teacher. I mean, a teacher
Open
teaches.
eyes. Yeah, to
I
open.
can't do this by myself. I need a teacher.
I like that, Steve. But that's it. I can open it. So we had fun at this. Stop and
And
think
what about the name?
We
They
had
have
fun.
meaning too.
Believe it or not, I got you 35. I thought I was going to give it out tonight, but my time has expired.
What about the names? They mean something
But
too.
not only do they mean
What do
something,
they mean?
but remember I told you something. Not only do they have meaning, but did you know as he's mentioning these names, they're all in order. How he's going to give them out. How the lots are going to fall out. This is what he's done. And so wait a minute, who's doing this? God is doing this. God, it ain't they going to pull okay, let's hold a stick and you pull. No, God is allotting this out to each and every tribe. Because half of Manasseh will say, you mean I get all this? No, you don't. No, I've got everybody in boundaries. You get just what you need. You're not going to get beyond. Watch this. God is not going to make them hoarders. Did you hear me? Because that's what we've done. We've become hoarders. Stop and think about it. We ain't satisfied. You got a brand new pair of green shoes and you got to get the blue shoe. Ain't nobody got green shoes in there, do they?
I see two people.
Well, you gotta get the green shoes because they're not good.
Then you got to get gold shoes because she don't want silver shoes. Anybody got gold shoes in here, do they?
Got a shoe of every color.
But anyway, y'all know what? I'm just kidding. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But stop and think about it. God is good to us. God lets us clown down here. But he says, please grow up. But please grow up. And I'm going to test you again. And I'm going to test you again. Because every time you flunk a test, you got to do what? You got to take it over. I don't know about you, but I'm tired of tests. I don't like tests. So what do I need to do? I need to learn from the test that's been given to me the first time. Do my very best to pass that test. I says, Gacy was here Sunday. Who else was there? Cabot was in that class. I know Elka was there. And Gacy made a statement. You have had so many tests that have come my way since I've been here. So many tests. A lot of ministers were flunked and went on about their business. But you've had your test after test after. Satan didn't do everything he could cover. And I'm sure he still got some more. But I understand who I am and whom I serve. Are there any statements, guys, that need to be made? We